Hello there, lovely people. It's Alex from Nintendo Life here. Now, no doubt, as you've heard, the Nintendo Direct that was supposed to happen last week unfortunately got delayed due to a really horrible earthquake that happened in Hokkaido, so it was delayed until, well, at the time of recording, we don't know when. As a result, it means that we've got time to do a predictions video, and so we're going to be doing just that. Because why not? A couple of these things have already been announced by other third parties, and we're sort of extrapolating from that maybe they were originally intended to be included in the Direct, so we're going to be including them anyways, because it makes the list longer. But anyway, that's more than enough waffling. Let's dive right into things. First of all, Super Mario Party. I mean, it's kind of a given at this point, because it's the next big Nintendo game that will be coming out on the Nintendo Switch, and I just can't see them not doing it. You know, they've covered it a bit at things like Gamescom and stuff like that, but it's not the same as having it in a big, chunky, smooth, buttery Direct. There are no doubt modes that we don't know about, characters that they think we don't know about, and various other bits and bobs here and there, and overall just, you know, sort of advertise it and say, hey, it's still happening, remember that thing? I'm actually really looking forward to Super Mario Party. If it turns out to be the Mario Party game that I want, then I'm going to be a very happy bunny indeed. Could be a good chunk of the presentation, could be almost no time at all. I imagine they'd spend at least, you know, maybe 5 minutes on it. It's supposed to be a 35-minute broadcast, but to be honest, I think given how, you know, there are various bits and bobs that have changed since then, and there'll be a couple of, in fact, I'll explain when we get into it. Yoshi's Crafted Island. Now, this is pretty much guaranteed because it was leaked online. I can't remember where. It was one of the Nintendo websites. I can't remember which region. A big part of me wants to say the American one, but again, really not sure. So yeah, Yoshi 2019, or Untitled Yoshi game, has indeed been leaked to be known as Yoshi's Crafted Island. And the fact that it appeared, you know, shortly after when the Direct would have been going out means that it probably is pretty clear that that was going to be in it. And, you know, the fact that there was a name up there and everything probably just, yeah, it pretty much spells it out. I don't think I really need to say anything else on the matter. Something to do with Smash Bros. Why? Because it's Smash Bros, baby! As for what it is, I don't know. I mean, it could be anything. It could range from actually having proper information like newcomers, you know, so saying Skull Kid, Gino, you know, all that good stuff. That could well be the case, and they could be just, you know, jumping in on a normal Nintendo Direct, or it could even just be something like a new standalone Direct will be happening X. But I can't see them not at least mentioning it, even if it's just something, you know, sort of flippant and really not terribly important to the actual function of the game. Maybe just saying there'll be a new bundle which comes with Super Smash Bros. Ultimate pre-installed, and you get some other colored Joy-Cons like that Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu one that just went out before I recorded this. If there was another standalone Direct, it wouldn't be terribly surprising because we've already had one, so this would only be the second, or third if you count E3. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles HD Remaster Super Turbo Edition. Yep, this morning it was announced that Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, a remaster, no, it is definitely remaster, not a remake, because remake would be from the ground up and this is just HD gubbins. It was announced that it was coming to PS4, and then a few hours later, bing, it said it was coming to Switch as well, which is excellent. I played the hell out of this game and got really not very far at all in the entire time I played. It was one of those difficult games where really, to play it properly, you had to do it multiplayer, and I had few friends, and even fewer friends who were willing to play really what is quite a lengthy JRPG? Well, it's an action RPG. Action JRPG. An AJRPG. Nice. The fact that the original announcement said that it was coming to PS4 and it didn't have all the information for the Switch does suggest that maybe that was supposed to be just a sort of a supplement, sort of, it's coming to PS4 as well, because it was originally supposed to be in the Direct last week. But obviously, it wasn't. Because the Direct wasn't. Then again, they could just, you know, omit it now that it's been announced properly, depending on how big of an announcement it would have been. Maybe just a bit of gameplay footage, and say like, "You've got to get some more. It's coming out in the future," which they often do with, you know, third-party games. So if it was just that, maybe it won't be included. If it was more, maybe it will. We don't know. In a very similar vein, Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition, because yes, Didn't that get announced last week or something? I lose track, there's so many games for the Switch now. Yeah, it's Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition coming to the Switch. Again, that would have fitted in, just nestled so nicely in the Direct. Again, wouldn't be surprised if it turned up in the belated Direct, but at the same time, equally wouldn't be surprised if it was cut out just because it became irrelevant. Civilization 6. Now again, this is another announcement that just sort of, for, you know, something that's fairly substantial, all of a sudden just sort of dribbled out, just bleh. Out of nowhere, Firaxis were just like, yeah, Civ 6 is coming to Switch. That's good, isn't it? Yeah, this had to be in the original Direct, and considering how little we know about it, or at least the Switch version, I'd be really surprised if it wasn't included in the rescheduled Direct as well, if indeed they have changed anything. I imagine they will change a few little bits and bobs, as I'll get onto in a moment, but I imagine the bulk of it will be the same, and I imagine this will feature Mega Man 11 demo, and maybe Mega Man 11 generally, but there's definitely going to be some sort of Mega Man 11 big gubbins going on. The fact that the demo dropped almost out of nowhere suggests that this really could have been a sort of a Mega Man 11 demo will be available shortly after this presentation. But of course that didn't happen, so I imagine, you know, they just sort of said to Nintendo, well, it's all ready, do you mind if we just sort of put it out anyway? And they were like, yeah, alright. I wouldn't be surprised if we still got some information about Mega Man 11. They could just change it really basically, so it just said, Mega Man 11 demo is available on the eShop now, you know, something like that, rather than saying shortly after this Direct. It's an easy fix. So yeah, I imagine we're also going to get maybe some more information about it. I don't know what we don't know yet, but there's got to be something, right? There's got to be some sort of Mega Man 11 going on there, because this seems to be, well, it wasn't even announced that long ago, was it? And all of a sudden it's just, boom, it's just sprung out of nowhere. And people seem to really like it. And yeah, the demo is out and I've yet to play it because I'm an idiot. And I was too busy over the weekend cleaning. Now, this is where we start to go out on a little bit of a limb here. I reckon we could see Starfox Grand Prix. In case you didn't know, Starfox Grand Prix was a game title and there was a load of information about it that was released shortly before E3. Leaked. The information was leaked temporarily before E3, just to clear that little thing up there. And everyone was saying, yeah, it's gonna come at E3, yeah, and then it just didn't, and there was nothing announced, and yet, you know, multiple different sources were all saying the same thing. They were all saying, yes, Starfox Grand Prix is real. It's, you know, the credibility really, considering the fact that there was nothing about it, was baffling. Like, there should have been at least something. Maybe it was originally planned to be E3 and it got pulled at some point, or maybe it doesn't exist at all. We don't know at the moment, but if it does exist, I would not be terribly surprised if we saw something about it in this Direct, because if it does exist, it's so boring to say, if this exists, but if it does exist, then I imagine we'll see something about it in this Direct, because it sounds like it's going to be a semi-big game for Nintendo, you know, taking everything in a new direction. At least Starfox. And with Starlink and everything, because the Starfox crew are going to be in there. You know, you got Fox McCloud, you got Peppy, Falco, and the annoying one. I can't really see Nintendo not taking the opportunity, with Starlink being vaguely on the horizon, to not sort of pounce on the hype that's surrounding Starfox being in Starlink and, you know, running with this now. But then again, didn't they reveal the Starlink Fox thing at E3? I don't know. Dark Souls, pretty much a given. It's coming out soonish. It's coming to the Switch. It's been delayed long bloody enough. Obviously, it's out on other consoles as well, but Nintendo basically, with all the Directs, they treat everybody that's watching it as if they know nothing about a game, which is a sensible way to do it. Simply because, you know, if somebody doesn't know that Dark Souls Remastered supports, is it like 6 players invading? Something like that. Or is it, no, going around together? It's... my brain's not working. Then people will want to know, and so you have to treat all information as new whenever you're presenting stuff in this way. So I imagine, yeah, there's definitely going to be something in there. Also, there's an amiibo coming out, so, you know, that's even more incentive. Also, it's so close. It'd be like, don't forget, Dark Souls is still a thing on the Switch. We haven't forgotten. Yokai Watch as well, yeah, there's some new 3DS games coming out. I felt like I had to put something 3DS on the list because they did say 3DS games would be included. The Switch has just like sucked all my attention away. And the 3DS, you try and use it now and it's like this. So I imagine they'll be mentioned. I keep seeing bits and bobs come through in PR. So yeah, you know, there's going to be some Yokai Watch stuff, I reckon. Yeah, Starlink, as I mentioned previously, I think that'll probably be included as well, because it's a fairly large third-party game. It's coming out on the other systems as well, but the fact that Fox is in it, Fox and the rest of the, you know, the furry freedom fighters, they've got to give it credit. I mean, Nintendo seems to have this really strong relationship with Ubisoft at the moment, and I don't think they're going to squander that. And if they have a Direct, and there's a relevant game, they're going to be chatting about it. But I've chatted about Starlink enough already. Last game I've got on the list, and this really is going out on a bit of a limb here. Metroid Prime 4. More than anything, it's just a Metroid Prime 4. Please, please give us some more information about Metroid Prime 4, because I am gagging for it. To be honest, I think it's more likely that it won't be included than it will be included, because if it's not coming out this year or early 2019, then I don't see why they would include it. But I've been wrong before, and hopefully I'm wrong about that, and they'll just say the whole game is now available, and it's free, and it's the best game ever. And that's it in terms of games. There are probably going to be some smaller ones here and there, some indies I haven't heard about cropping up here and there. But overall, in terms of the sort of the big main third-party and first-party games, I think that's probably about it. Could be wrong. Obviously, it's a predictions video. We don't know. However, I do think we're going to have at least some mention of Nintendo Switch Online, just because it's so close now. Even if it's just Nintendo Switch Online will be available from this date. And it's just that's all we get. You know, I imagine we're going to have something. We've got to have something. What I'd really like is for them to announce that family sharing is a thing, and that you can therefore, you know, with select devices you create, like a family group as you can already do, and you can like share games amongst you. Imagine how good that would be. Obviously digital downloads only. That would be absolutely fantastic. I would really love the pants off that. It's a bit of a pipe dream, though. But anyway, what do you think we're going to be getting in the belated Nintendo Direct? Let us know what you think down there in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, then why don't you predict what that subscribe button will be doing on the 14th of March 2019, and be sure to check out nintendolife.com for all sorts of lovely Nintendo-related content. Thank you again for watching. Bye-bye. What I'd really like is if they turned around and said, yeah, you can also have like family sharing of games. That would be amazing, because then it would increase my Switch library by like 2 games.